Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So welcome to another sim that I am taking a look at here, Project Hospital. Now this of the things that I came across in SimFest is the one that I'm most intrigued by, but frankly the most terrified of as well. So it seems like it would be right up my alley as long as I can actually make the leap of understanding it. But that's part of the terrifying part, is it sounds like it is extremely detailed. So one of the reasons I was excited to try this versus say like 2 Point Hospital, which I think is the other major hospital game, hospital sim that is up there in popularity, is this is supposed to be very realistic as far as the diseases you're dealing with, how you deal with them, and so forth, versus 2 Point Hospital is a lot more arcadey, made up diseases and so forth. So I've got a few new sims that I'm trying out that again, you may have seen already or you may start to see on the channel. As with any of them, let me know what you think, if this is something that seems intriguing, something that seems interesting, because I'm likely going to have to figure out which ones to focus on more in the beginning. I don't know that I've got enough time slots and enough time to really kind of spread things out and handle all of them, so I may have to focus on one more than the other for a while and kind of switch back and forth. Not really sure. So any feedback would be great. And as always, I think I've adjusted volume and so forth. I may make changes as I go along. The music was incredibly loud when I came in here. I've got it down to probably 20% of the full volume. But if you'd like things changed, let me know. So if you even look at the options screen in this game, you can probably start to understand how this game is pretty darn intimidating. So just a lot of detail, a lot of things you can do. I'm not changing anything other than, like I said, I adjusted the volume. I'm leaving the sound effects, dialogue, and user interface at the appropriate level, but let's get into this and see what we see. Alright, so it looks like we have campaign, sandbox, scenarios, and DLC. So I did go ahead because there were discounts on all the DLCs. So there's infectious diseases, traumatology, and then I think there's also a doctor mode. Well, actually you can see here. So there's also the hospital services, so you can see all the things that are installed, and then doctor mode is a free thing that's available. Don't know what they do. Sandbox looks like it kind of lets you do various things, but obviously we'll start with the campaign. And it looks like we've got 3 tutorials, but a lot of the feedback I've seen online is that the tutorials don't have nearly enough information. So this is where I'm a little potentially intimidated. But you can see there's just a few campaigns and then there's these challenges. But we'll see how things go here. Alright, no coffee machine in the common room. Seriously. Alright. I'm assuming that will get doctors upset. Hi boss, thank you for coming back to help us. We know that you had your reasons for retirement, but we can really use someone with your talents. We know you were good at diagnosing patients. Alright, before I hit next, we can see visiting hours, clinic open, and then the day shift starts an hour before and goes 2 hours after. It's similar to most of the sims that I play and so forth. I know very little about healthcare services. I watch healthcare shows like I'm sure a bunch of people do. Chicago Med, Grey's Anatomy, the most recent ones, but dozens over the years probably, but who knows how accurate they are. Other than that, I've got some family members who are in the healthcare profession that I've joked with a little bit, like, hey, I might be texting you because I'm going to need help figuring out how to diagnose things. But we'll see how everything goes here. Okay, we're having some staff issues at the clinic. Could you help us with a few patients? Oh, don't worry, I'll remind you how everything works here. First, let's have a closer look to see what's going on. You can zoom in or out with the mouse wheel and pan by holding down the middle mouse button. Alright, it's easy enough. You can also notice that all the walls are up, obscuring the view. Change the view to your liking. I see, so we can take out the front walls, leave them up, and or remove. Okay, so it's hide all walls, auto hide walls, and show full walls. So this seems to be a little more realistic. I'm assuming if I rotate things and so forth, because yeah, there we go. We can rotate the view, but I'm sure it'll tell us that. Excellent. Now select the patient who's been patiently waiting for us. Oh, okay. Right here. All right. This is the patient's card. It will give you all the important information, and you can control what happens with your patients from here. On the right side, you'll find the history of the last 8 selected characters. All right. I don't remember selecting Brooke, but maybe she just walked in or something. If you click on the portrait of a character, the camera will center on them. Oh, is this Brooke? Maybe that's Brooke. It is. Okay, so Brooke is... Okay, so she's the patient. Camera will center on them. All right. You can choose who is responsible for your patient. Either you let your staff take care of them, or you can take over directly. Let's keep this patient under your control. All right. The upper part of the card shows you the patient's personal data and department assignment. The needs panel on the right shows the satisfaction level, and you can see characters' perks and quirks below that. So let's see as we highlight things. All right, so we're going to go through this because, again, I think like you can see the fine print here. I think there's going to be a lot going on. All right, so this is select the department. I see. So we don't have any other choices right now, but you can see there's a lot of departments. So we have radiology, medical labs, intensive care unit, general surgery, internal medicine, orthopedy, that's like an orthopedist, but cardiology, neurology, infectious diseases, traumatology, administrative department, and pathology department. So like infectious diseases, traumatology, and probably administrative. I think that's hospital services. The rest of these, I think, are part of the base game. All right, so obviously they need to go there. She's female, she's 40, she's an accountant. I'm sure the occupation may matter in the future. She's uninsured. Payment, let's see if I highlight these things, does it give me anything? No. All right, so this is hunger. Patients need to have access to water or a snack if they're waiting long. Bladder, restrooms should be available on every floor. Discomfort, the level of pain and discomfort caused by symptoms, examinations, and treatments. So it says no discomfort, but I guess this would be similar to, at least here in the US, when you walk into the doctor's office and they ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, what pain are you feeling? I'm guessing that's what that is. And satisfaction, the overall satisfaction influenced by needs, other people, and the environment. So comfortable, short wait, fast prescribing, and a nice environment is, I guess, what they feel. And then, okay, so that's the satisfaction. Will it give me this other info? Not right now. All right. The next panel shows all possible diagnoses that match patients' known symptoms, ordered from the most likely one. Selecting a diagnosis will set it as the final one. So final diagnosis is this, but then possible diagnosis table. Oh my God. This is scary. So there's a probability, and then the department, insurance, cost, I guess what they pay, what the treatment is, Oh, I see. And these are the symptoms. So, alright, well, we'll not get ahead of ourselves. So you can start to see, maybe you're starting to feel intimidated. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, the symptoms panel shows all revealed and hidden symptoms. On the left, you can see the doctor the patient is currently assigned to. Okay, so Brooke Moore is a doctor. She is a resident. I don't know what these 2 out of 5 things mean. Maybe that's her skill level? I'm not sure. Alright, so there's 2 hidden symptoms. Shows the number of hidden symptoms that the patient does not know about. Blinking icon signals that 1 or more symptoms can cause collapse. Terrific, I assume. Like they'll pass out. So I guess they're telling us that they have nasal congestion, they have fatigue, and sneezing. So, in case you were wondering what sneezing it is a convulsive expulsion of air from the lungs through the nose and mouth. And then fatigue, progressive tiredness from mental or physical exertion or illness, and the patient's nose or nasal cavity is congested. So again, no made-up stuff. And again, I'm assuming like sneezing, the physical examination we found it. There's no treatment, I think is what that is. And then I guess they found out through the interview and rest. And then here, nasal cavity inspection. So I guess Brooke has looked in her nasal cavity, and the treatment would be nasal drops. Alright, this is the examination panel where you can order examinations to reveal what the hidden symptoms are. Try to select skin allergy test to reveal enough hidden symptoms so there's only 1 possible diagnosis left. Okay, so this is an injection of a small amount of different allergen extracts into the skin, usually on the arm, to confirm or deny the allergic reactions to specific allergens. There's a required room, offices, diagnostic units at emergency department, ICU department, neurology department, and the discomfort is medium. So there you go. They've already done a nasal cavity inspection. Chest osculation. The osculation, listening with a stethoscope. See, I had no idea that that had a name. Just think about the things we can learn. There's going to be lots of discomfort for me as a player here. I think it's going to be challenging. Alright, let's do what it says. What was that? Was she singing? Where did she go? Oh, I see. Alright. Oh, it's an active examination. Look at that. So they're like the doctor's actually doing this. So they're going to the cabinet. Patient's on the table. Sounds like she went dun-da-da. Okay. So they're testing things on their arm. So I don't know. Obviously it takes some time for them to do this. It also seems like they will do an interview. Are they poking them? It looks like she's constantly poking her. The discomfort for me is high as well. Alright. So now she's able to get dressed again. I assume we need to wait now to see what the result will be. Oh, I see. They threw things in the biohazard bag. She's washing her hands. So when we talk about some realism, that's pretty good. Okay, you can see which finished examinations revealed a symptom. The ones that did are highlighted in green. Now go ahead and select the one diagnosis that's left. Alright, procedures have finished. Scheduled procedures have finished. Last was skin allergy test. The patient is waiting for you to plan another examination or select a diagnosis. Okay, so if we go here, select the one diagnosis that's left. What does that mean? Oh, I see. Oh, okay. So because we did the skin allergen test, I guess we eliminated everything else. So we're going to pick that. Now nothing stops us from treating the patient. You can hover over the icon of your selected diagnosis to see a tooltip which will suggest the correct treatment. Go ahead and choose the treatment. So I think it was antihistamines, which it is. So those are the available treatments. So it's an allergy treating drug. I'm not going to read all of these in detail. If you guys do want me to do that, I guess let me know, but I'll probably hover over them while I talk. Looks like you can do this in any room or most of the departments, which is probably good. Alright, good job. You treated your first patient. Depending on the selected treatment, your patient will be either cured or might return later with new symptoms. So let's see, I assume she's typing up a prescription. There we go. We get it out of the printer. I assume we hand it to the patient. Procedures have finished. Scheduled procedures have finished. Last was antihistamines. The patient is waiting for you to plan another treatment or send them home. Alright. So we'll hit next. Let us move on to help another patient. Alright, well I assume we need to send them home. How do we send them home? Here is our next patient. Click the patient that is sitting in the doctor's office. So this is Lisa Moore. I thought the doctor before was named Moore, but okay. They need special rooms or equipment. You probably noticed earlier that some examinations are not available. Gray. Okay, they need special rooms or equipment. Okay, so she's female, 31, accountant, and she has abdomen gut insurance. So they're not using real insurance companies here, which is probably okay. But alright, so they have a hidden symptom. They have muscle weakness and back pain. And right now the possible diagnoses are scoliosis. So I see. So we can do a differential diagnosis. So the doctor is not qualified. You can see not available. Special case review that reduces the amount of possible diagnoses can only be performed by a doctor with advanced diagnosis. An X-ray back. There's no technologist. All right. If you mouse over the grayed out icon, a tool clip will tell you what is missing. In this case, we are missing both the room and a technologist to be able to run the X-ray. Does it tell me? X-ray room. Well, it says a required room, but it's not red like the other thing. There are tooltips available throughout the game with extra information for every icon in every category, which I think is how we're going to have to learn. So for now, let us fix the hospital real quick. Everything should be in order now, and when you open the patient's card again, you can select the now available examination. Okay, so now we're good. Alright, if you want to be kept in the loop, you must keep the patient under your care or as monitored. The same icon switches between all the modes. Okay, right now the patient is under your care, just as we need. The card can be closed by the X in the upper right corner. Don't forget you can always access the last few characters from the list on the right side. This examination will take some time. You can fast forward the game time using the controls in the middle of the main panel. Alright, so we can close her here. Alright. Like, is anything going to happen? Oh, I see. I guess my question is, like, I kind of want to see what happens. So let's watch what happens with our patient, which is exactly what we're trying. Alright, so she goes in the X-ray room. Technician's coming out, talking to her in Project Hospitalese. I guess we'll call it that. Alright, she's repositioning the X-ray. Alright, so obviously people are getting examined, so they, will have to remove clothing and so forth as appropriate. So kind of an expected thing that you'd have happen in a hospital environment. So, alright, so I see. Okay, so she's at the machine that she's standing on, even though she moved the table, so I don't understand. So I assume she's diagnosing here a little bit. Move that forward. Alright, now she's coming back out. Let's see, so she's, okay, so she told her maybe done. And then let's see, she's typing something in. Alright. So the pop-up notification is informing you that the X-ray has revealed a symptom. Lab procedure uncovered a symptom. Lab procedure uncovered a new symptom of a favorite patient scoliotic findings. I don't know what a favorite patient means. Okay, you can change the way how you want to receive notifications by switching it to pop-up or log in the lower left corner of the message window. Okay, so I see lab procedure under, now it says lower left. This is the right corner, but maybe there's a log somewhere else, or they just don't know their left from their right, which I had a hard time with at one point. I still kind of do, but a little bit better. By clicking OK, you can close the notification. All right, I did that. You can reopen the message from the log panel in the bottom right of the screen. Okay. So that makes sense. The last examination provided the X-ray revealed a last hidden symptom unique to the patient's disease. If the diagnosis was not clear, this would confirm it with a 100% probability. Usually running tests, radiology, stat labs is the most certain way to confirm a diagnosis, but they also take a lot of time. You can finish treating the patient yourself or leave it up to the doctor. Now that we've uncovered the basics, it's time to get this clinic going. Treat 4 patients. You can check the number of treated patients green on the main panel. Alright, so if I go here, alright, I get it. So, then we can close that. Let's see. So Lisa Moore. Oh, I see. So I guess she had to go to the restroom. So they're actually realistic enough that they even do that. Interesting. So we've got some patients coming in here. I assume they're just going to go into the waiting room. Is Lisa going to come back? I assume. Oh, maybe not. Alright. So what do we do with her? Okay, so we think scoliosis is her thing, and then what do we need to do? This treatment is exercise. So we tell her that, and so they're going to fulfill her needs. So I assume she's going to go. Alright, so he has 6 hidden symptoms. Oh, they all have a bunch of hidden symptoms, so. Alright, well this person is in here. So wait, oh I see, they're controlled by the doctors. So I'm assuming, okay, what do I need to do with her? Like, how do I send her home is the question. Whoops. No, she needs exercise. Rename character, pin card, so it won't close. Alright, so Richard. Alright, so I'm going to put them under player control, and I'm going to interview them. So we'll see how this goes. It's like what's happening. So, alright, so they're prescribing them antihistamines. Young doctor, treat your first patient. Okay. So, yeah, the question is like what? I don't know how to send them home. Or, okay, maybe now I'm. Okay, so maybe now we're talking to her and explaining to her that she needs exercise. Or no, wait, that's a different girl, right? Or is that... Now I'm confused. So who's in there? Because if I click on him, it shows him. But... See, I'm confused. Okay, this is Margaret Taylor. So she's controlled by doctors. So I don't understand. Like, I had the one guy that I took control of. So... I mean, I suppose I can put them all on player control, I think is what I need to do, and then they won't take over. So let's see. Okay. So at this point, I think we're okay because, like, she's now being examined, and so they're recommending interesting antidepressants and stuff. Alright. Alright. So what I need to figure out is how do they... Okay, send them to another hospital, select department. So, like, they're treated, but how do we... Okay, so they're finished. Okay. So they're all set. So I need to interview her. So even though this is under player control, I guess let's see. So what's cyanosis? The patient is cyanotic with a bluish... Okay, scheduled procedures interview. The patient is waiting. Okay. So she has cyanosis. Right now it'd be Raynaud's syndrome, causes numbness and coldness of hands, fingers, and toes as a response to cold outdoor temperatures. Finger numbness. The patient complains about numbness. Okay, so we can do a physical examination. So I guess we should do that, although probably because there's just one diagnosis, we probably could have just gone with it, I suppose. Because that's really what we're supposed to do. So we'll see what happens, but again, it just takes time. Now, my guess is, because we have what? Treated patients, untreated patients. See, I don't understand why she's not considered treated. Okay. The patient is waiting. Okay, so Raynaud's findings. Complete physical examination found classic symptoms. Alright, so we're going to say it's Raynaud's disease, and this thing is vasodilators. So those are the active treatments. And then, yeah, we're supposed to have this little send a treated patient home. So I assume, like, they need to get their prescription and then they'll go home. See, but this is what I don't have with her, and maybe if she goes back in, because it's like maybe we haven't gotten things. So that was what I was missing. But there we go. Okay, so there's 3. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. The bathroom thing is interesting, but alright. So he is being... Alright, so obviously we need to interview him. Alright, well, we're down to hay fever. So I assume then we don't really need to do anything else. So we can just prescribe hay fever and then antihistamines and send them home. because there's no other possible diagnosis, so it doesn't make sense to do other examinations. So I think that's the key point and part of what I don't like when I go to the doctor. Okay, awesome, you've done it. Thank you for your help. We can take over from here. I think you are needed elsewhere. Click next to continue. Alright, so we finished that tutorial. Let's see if we can do tutorial 2. So this looks like we're constructing a clinic. So this is more a construction tutorial. We also know now that diagnosing was not the only thing you did. You also were good at building hospitals. So welcome to this nice property we recently acquired. Let us refresh a little bit on how to build and equip your very own hospital and what options there are. Alright, let's build a nice little clinic first. Let's switch to building mode. You can click the button in the top corner or just push the F6 key. I see build mode, game mode, and it doesn't tell us what that is. The first important step is laying down foundations. The foundations tool is selected already. Cover an area big enough to house at least 3 rooms. For example, 20 by 20 tiles. So I guess let me do this. So 20 by 20. Why am I... Alright, $20,000. Wow, where's our money? We have $200,000. Alright, excellent. Now here's a quick summary of what's available to build. There are 5 main categories: foundations, constructions, doors and windows, and then objects and prefabs. Okay. Each category is further divided into subcategories. Don't forget there's a tooltip for each category, an item with more info. Now that we have a place to build, we need to design our floor plan. The very basic unit of every hospital is an emergency department. Select management mode to see which rooms will definitely need to make the emergency department operational. Okay, so I assume we need a waiting room and a doctor's office. Rooms are divided between mandatory, red number, and optional rooms. So when we need a restroom too. Green number. Some rooms are shared between departments. Let's place one of each: a doctor's office, a waiting room, and a restroom. These are needed for a working clinic. Alright. So minimal room 4 by 2. So we'll do it over here. So let's see. Let's make it 4 by 4. And then we need a doctor's office, which needs to be 4 by 4. Make it a little bigger. We'll make it 4 by 5. And then a restroom needs to be 3 by 2. So we'll just do that there. There we go. Well done. With the floor plan done, let's build some walls. You can find them in the building mode under the construction category. There we go. Alright, and then build walls. Alright, so there's a white wall. Sure. Do we just do this? I see. Okay. So at this point, we'll put these walls in, like the ones that we need, because we're going to need doors to get in there. Okay, great walls are sometimes not required, but some objects need to be hung on a wall. You can also choose wall color and whether you build walls in a line or in a rectangular pattern. The different options and tools are always shown at the bottom of the building panel. So place floors, pillars, ambulance. Okay, so build walls, draw a rectangular, delete walls, delete rectangular walls, bulldoze walls, copy a wall, and undo the last change. Okay. You can also build various types of floors. Don't forget to place doors so your rooms in the building itself are accessible. When you're happy, click next. Okay, so I need doors. Where are doors? So I just need a white door. Alright. So we put a white door there, and then we put a white door there. Alright, and then I assume I can put a wall there. Like, how do I know if I have a door? Alright, I think I had doors. See, I don't understand. Like, why is it... So is this not a door? I see. So I think I have to have a wall and then put in the door. So, okay, that works. Okay, so that makes sense. So we've got those, and then obviously we can finish this. And then we'll do like a glass door. Well, I guess I need some walls too. But we'll put in a glass door there. People can come into the clinic and then they can get to their rooms. So I think we're okay. Okay, let's focus on furnishing the rooms now. Simply click on the floor of any of the rooms. The panel shows furniture and equipment that is either mandatory, orange, or recommended, yellow. Mandatory items show also alternatives. For example, all equipment cabinets, but you need only one. You can rotate objects by pressing R or the middle mouse button. The right mouse button cancels the current selection. Some objects need additional equipment to work. If the object in the scene is tinted blue, you can hover over it or the floor under it and see what other equipment it needs. It will be blue in the equipment panel. Oh, this sounds confusing. Now equip your rooms. When placing objects, arrows on the ground will show from which directions it can be accessed from. Alright, well, I think we need a chair. Alright, so we'll do that. So we'll do a couple chairs, and then, alright, so my question is, like, what do I do now to say I'm done? Alright, so nothing will wait. Oh, I see. So there's like an equipment cabinet we need. Alright, so we'll put that there. They need an exam table. Used to determine hearing. Goodness gracious. Alright, is there a desk or something? Okay, so there's an office desk. So we can do that there. We can do a PC. Put that on the desk. There we go. Alright, we need a sink for sure. We want them to be able to clean their hands. Do we need a printer too? Alright, we'll put the printer there. We have the PC. Do we need an examination lamp? Sure. And then an office chair, I guess, which we can rotate. How do I get rid of that? Undo. Alright. So my confusion is, like, how do I change? So if I hit escape, So if I go there, we obviously need the toilet. We'll put in a sink. Can be accessed from that. And I think we're okay. Oh, the sink is blocked by another object. So, let's see. Alright, so I guess it's okay now. Okay, so I think I've equipped all my rooms, right? Or do I need... like, do I... I see. So wall-mounted equipment. Oh, and then a biohazard bin. Wait, that's in the wrong place. Alright, so we have a biohazard bin. The audio meter. Okay, so that's the blood pressure and whatever. Do I need another table? I guess I need an equipment table. There's not a lot of room in here. My goodness. Alright. And I can put that over there. But like I already have a PC, so I don't understand. So I shouldn't need both. Alright, I am confused. Because at this point... yeah, that's a PC, and... it seems that would be my only thing, is I need the laptop or something. Alright. So... if I put in an office desk, and then a laptop, and then an audiometer, yeah, the confusing part is it just doesn't seem like I have what I need. Alright, there's an info TV. What's the Q machine? In a waiting room, the system provides smoother patient flow to adjacent rooms. Alright. So like we've done everything we need there. Yeah, so it looks like we can put the hand dryer maybe there. They're all set. See, I'm confused. Like, is this not in the right place? Alright. So what is happening here? And why is this telling me that this doesn't work? See, I'm wondering if the office desk is the problem. Maybe I need like a equipment. But it's like giving me those, but... alright, let me do this. Alright, so they can't access the equipment table. See, but it's like it's not giving me any of those things. So this doesn't seem right. So I'm extremely confused as to what I'm supposed to be doing here. Yeah, so if I go here to game mode, the restroom and the waiting room are done. But there's a problem with the doctor's office. So I need an exam table, so instead of putting it in the middle of the room, let me do that. Alright. And then I need an equipment cabinet. So we're going to put those in the corner. We're going to put the biohazard bin right next to it. The eye test can go there. Okay, so I can substitute that for a sink. I see. So I can't have it there because the eye chart is there. And then I don't need a sink. So there's a couple different office desks. I guess this one is a little better. Let me put that there. And then if I do, say, a PC, see, it's like it only lets me do it in a certain place. And then a printer. See, but why is it not telling me that I have a PC? That's the problem. So I'm going to put that there. And like there's no room now for the other item. So let's see if I do a square table. Put that over, whoops, over, why will it not? I don't understand. Oh, I see, okay. So I can do that and then put the audiometer there. The examination lamp. Alright, so there's an examination lamp. I think we're good. But again, we just have this equipment. Can be placed on work desks or reception desks. So I've already done that. Like the printer it gave me credit for, but the PC it didn't. So that's the confusing part. Yeah, I'm just confused as to what I need to do. Alright, so I guess that was it. I needed a chair. So the optional equipment usually contains decorations or objects that don't serve a particular purpose but improve the environment. Now all we need for a functional clinic is a doctor. We will hire one with the help from our in-game tutorial. These are also available in sandbox mode. Select in-game tutorials. I see. Alright. And then hiring new staff. Select hiring and follow the instructions to hire a doctor. Okay, select management mode. Click on workspace in your chosen room. Okay, so I assume it's that. Oh, I see. Click on a workplace in your chosen room. Left side in my chosen room. Okay, so I had to do right. Alright, so it was a right click on the workspace. So like, let me do this. So if I go to management and hire new staff, all right. Choose the profession you need. I see, so those are, so I need doctors. Select one of the available employees. Be aware of their perks. So I assume it's these things. So I would guess, like Nancy has a better advanced diagnostics. Now what is this? Oh, hidden perks. This one's fast and a hard worker. I'm wondering if she would be better. Alright. So, and then we're done. When you have more departments, you can switch between them using the icons on the main panel. Select Radiology Department and open Management Mode again. Hospital now accepts patients. The hospital now has enough staff to accept first patients. First insurance companies are automatically contracted. Select Radiology Department and open Management Mode again. Oh, I see. Select the Radiology Department. Okay. Check what rooms you need for a functional radiology department. Build, equip, and staff them. All the red warning signs must be dealt with. Okay. Oh, so I need another waiting room? Alright. So let's see. I guess we'll put the waiting room in there. And we'll do an x-ray room. The x-ray room needs to be 5 by 5. I'm going to make this much bigger. Oh, does it have to be? Alright. And that seems to be it. Okay, but I think because we don't have staff, that's the problem. So here I need, I'm going to put, well, I guess let's start with the walls. So again, we're going to run all these walls around. We're going to create what we need here. Build a room without door access. Funny people. Alright, so we're going to do that. No. Alright, so they can go both ways. That's what I figured. Alright, and then we're going to do an x-ray door. I'm sure it doesn't matter exactly what we do, but alright, so if I go here, I need a bench. So let's do that. That should be fine. And then we'll go here. So we need an x-ray. Alright. So we'll do that. There needs to be an equipment cabinet. Alright, we'll put that there. And we need some sort of office desk. So we'll put that in that corner. And then they need, we'll do a laptop. And we'll do an office chair. Whoops. Alright, so the question is, if I got what I need, I probably now need one technologist, radiologist. So, missing room requirements, missing required staff. So if I go here, and then it was on X-ray room, missing equipment, missing staff, workday load. Alright, I need radiologists, but again, so I'm wondering if I don't have what I need here. Oh, I see. We need an X-ray viewer. So let's put that up there. And then we need the X-ray control panel. So there we go. Whoops. Alright, so the question is, what's wrong with this? Alright, so if I do the X-ray, so now do I have what I need? Alright, so now I have a room. Now I need the staff. So I need radiologists. So let's see, he's got 3 hidden perks. So I think we're going to go with him. Okay, now go ahead and finish the last objective. Treat 6 patients. Okay. So I guess we'll see how this goes. So we've got a radiology department. Alright, someone's coming. So they're queuing up. So we're going to just let these folks be handled. Controlled by doctors. Goodness gracious. There's a lot of people. Alright. So let's see. So Barbara now has multiple things. So the question is, so this is the thing. I have 3 hidden symptoms. So I should probably do a physical examination. That would be the logical thing. My God, there's a lot of patients. Can I like highlight all of them? No. Alright. Just trying to get all of these. My God. There's a lot of sick people in town. So this is a bit much. Alright. So now there's a physical examination. Alright, so they have a headache. So that doesn't seem to help. So the question is, how do we know? So, tiny inserted through the nose. Alright, well, I guess we'll do the oral cavity inspection. And then maybe we'll do the nasal cavity inspection. But we need to basically start getting these things narrowed down. And then see what happens. So yeah, we don't have a sink, but alright, well none of this is helping. Alright. Well, they have a sore throat now. So you would think that's the neck palpitation. Where's the swab that you're doing? I'm used to them. Okay, so I don't have... Alright, let me do a temperature measurement. That might help us determine, like, if they have a fever or something. So yeah, you can certainly see this is definitely very... Alright, we're going to do a nasal cavity inspection. This is a very involved simulation, which is good. I mean, it's got a lot of complexity, honestly. All right, so we've got a lot of symptoms. There's one hidden symptom. So I assume once I figure out what that is, we're going to get things down to... There we go. All right, so the nasal cavity inspection basically got rid of everything but the common cold. And in the common cold, they need rest. So there we go. So we've got one. So they came to us, and you know how much fun it is to go to a doctor and get told you have a cold and there's nothing they can do for you. Just go home and rest. Well, here we go. So that's what we got. So we've got one patient. Someone else will now come in, I imagine. So here comes someone who's going in. There we go. All right, Kate Brown. So at least we start the end. Oh my goodness. Wow. And this is one of 3. So, oh my goodness. Wow. All right. Well, let's start with the physical examination. I would think that's always the first thing. And let's hope to dear God we get this down from 15 possibilities. I feel like I'm looking at WebMD or something. Like, you have back pain. Oh, you could have all these things. So now you start to understand the challenge of being a doctor. Well, there we go. So the physical examination, scoliosis, they need exercise, all good. All right, well, we got her through quickly. I'm guessing we're not going to have to do any radiology, but maybe we're going to need that. I see, because we could have x-rayed her back, but we basically knew from the physical examination, and that could be because of the greatness of the doctor that I hired. I'm gonna go with that. I think the greatness of the doctor is it. She's only 18, and she has bad scoliosis. That's sad. All right, she's 20. Look at, oh my God, she has 23 pages. What was this? Wait. I saw like African... Okay, because she just has a fever, so never mind. Let's do a physical examination. But look at this. There's 6 pages of available examinations. So this is what I mean. Like, look, when you look at the complexity of this, like, this is like really, really good. It's just overwhelming, but it's good. Really? We went from everything to shingles? Alright, well, shingles is not fun. My wife's had it a few times. And yes, more than once, and it was not fun. But she's not old enough to get the shingles vaccine yet, so a little bit of a challenge. But we'll get through these patients, and we're going to call that an episode once we're done here. So this may be pretty long. I'm going to obviously, hopefully, try to make it not so long, but we'll see. Oh, I can send her home. All right. The good news is we're getting a little bit... Okay, people are having to go to the restroom. I mean, nobody seems to be yelling and screaming, and nobody's punching each other. I guess that's good, but that's a lot of patience. All right. Okay, so far 23. All right, couple things. A foot contusion, so warmth and a foot injury. I guess... Oh, they're already just automatically doing the physical. Oh, this is controlled by doctors. Wait a minute. Did I miss one somewhere? So she's taken that one. Now can I change this? I can. Let me see how that works, because that'll be a good test. Alright, so now they're done. They still don't know. We probably need to have them go do an x-ray. So now the question is, while they go do an x-ray, can I work another patient in here? I would hope so. Alright, I can. That's good. Alright, so they're interviewing. They're going to walk over to radiology, I assume. I can't see her. There we go. She's limping. Look at that. That's awesome. That's very cool. Alright, so yeah, she has swellness. Okay. So the interview is done with Jordan Green. So he's got American trypanosis, Chagas disease, a serious infection caused by a parasite. Wow. Okay. Let's do physical examination and maybe they'll be able to tell one or the other. So he is doing what he needs to do there. So, doing a lower limb x-ray. Alright, so he's done. Alright, so we're down to chicken pox because we see itchy blisters. So we give them an antiviral. And then we send them home. And that gets us another one done. So does anybody else... Like, I guess my question, has anybody else come in? So it looks like he's maybe next. Not sure. Alright. Is he not done yet? Wow. Takes a while, I guess, obviously. Alright, who's next? We've got 4. It's just lunchtime, so we should be okay. Alright, so they have an instep contusion. So now they have a foot contusion. I assume they're going to go back to the doctor. Alright, so Patricia's done. Hand injury. Let's do a physical examination. We might need an x-ray there. But, of course, if the fracture on the finger is removed, we probably don't. So I would assume she's going to come back in, but I don't know. Like, can we move her to the front of the line? Alright. No, she could still have a fracture. So I think it's time for an x-ray of the upper limb. So let's send her over. Alright. Now is this... No, see, we're doing Susan here. So she's got a million things. Let's do a physical examination. Alright, they're checking her out. So you can do a blood draw, but like you need a technologist and equipment and all that. Alright, so let's see. We got closer here. So this, I think, is... Alright, the inflammation. So we'll do that. Send them home. So we might be able to finish up here without finishing the x-ray people, other than we've, like, moved people through, but if they don't come in the room, I suppose... Oh, wait. How is this controlled by the doctors? So... Alright, so that's 5. Alright, so he is... The x-rays take a long time. So I guess that's good to know, like when you're trying to get something done. Alright, so he could have a few things. Mumps. Acute rheumatic fever. Okay, so she has a wrist contusion. So now we've got that down. But because we have the x-ray, we now know that, so... Alright, so now we got 2 people with x-rays. But we're going to get completed here in a moment. Alright. So let's do the temperature measurement, I think would be the next thing. Because obviously then rheumatic fever and all that could get isolated. But they seem to move along, like if you're doing things in a bit of real time, like we are here, like you can see how things are going. Alright, what's a CRP? Quick blood, no, we don't need that. Alright, laryngitis, rheumatic fever. Alright, I guess do the nasal cavity and then the oral cavity. And maybe that will get things down, because those are the simplest things. There's not a lot of discomfort, and I assume they go pretty quickly. But my point is, like, when you're with the doctor, like, you know, these things take just a few minutes, but you know, we've seen 5-6 patients in 4 or 5 hours, so Alright, so nothing has narrowed down. Our diagnoses haven't changed. We also have not found any of the other hidden symptoms this patient has. Seems like we have more people in here than we did before, but no, I think we've got them all selected. So now thorax percussion. That's less air. That doesn't seem... Okay, so there we go. So laryngitis, and that is probably... Oh, it's antibiotics. Okay. I didn't realize that. So this should be it then. And then that will wrap things up for what probably is a pretty long episode here. But we'll see. Before we finish, let's have a look at the last category and a great time saver, prefabs. Select the prefabs category in building mode. Alright, so there we go. Now you can see the different rooms divided by departments. Choose any of the prefabs and place it in an unoccupied area. So let's see. Medical labs. Ah, okay. So I can do like a hematology lab. Oh wow, those are fancy. So you placed a fully equipped room. Well done. It's easy as riding a bike, isn't it? Alright, cool. So, done 2 of the tutorials. Definitely a complex simulation. You know, might be interesting just to see what happens, but certainly something I'm obviously willing to do and willing to share. But as I said, we've got a few new things coming. So in total, I think there's 4 sims that I picked up. So depending on the order that things come out, you know, maybe, you know, once we're sure all 4 are out, it'll be easier to tell. But obviously, if this is something you're interested in, you know, me doing, but this one is as intriguing as I thought it would be, so I'm pretty pleased with it so far. But I can see the confusion and the complexity that people talk about. But for now, I will see you next time.